And you know those stupid questions that you get asked when you say you're depressed? It's like, have you went for a walk?
Yeah.
Have you done your hobbies? Like, so that's it. He reads the first one off. He's like, have you done any of your hobbies? And he's like...
I love that because his hobbies are what led him to this situation. Right, Rich.
Hola.
You don't speak Spanish. Why would you start with Spanish?
See, it's the only Spanish I know.
What would you have done if I replied in perfect Spanish then? Would you just panic? Like, what was you prepared for? You could just reply speaking like Gleb.
Yeah.
We're making another episode of Smiling Friends.
We got a comment saying we missed out Gleb and Alan, like most of season 1 does. That's a good point.
But to be fair, my reaction to that was, who are Gleb and Alan?
Because it's funny because Alan's in the very first episode, so like, and so is Gleb as well, but he's just sat there like watching something on his iPad.
Second I saw like pictures of them, I was like, oh yeah, I remember them. So shall we write an episode of Smiling Friends where the main characters are Gleb and Alan?
I'm game for that. So Pim and Charlie get relegated to the B plot.
I reckon we just say that they're ill, or like they've got jury duty or something.
Or they're stuck in traffic somewhere.
Yeah, I like that.
Charlie and Pim just need to get to the office, but they can't because they're stuck somewhere.
Gleb and Alan have to step up and be the Smiling Friends, do their job. I was thinking, because we need a client for this episode, so I just sent you something, didn't I, about Bill Watterson?
Yeah, Bill Watterson.
The creator of Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
So what if it's someone like that? Someone who's like holds tight onto like his characters, but he has to sell them. He has to sell them to like Disney or something.
Because is he getting pushed out, or is it like alimony, or is the house getting like...
alimony? His wife has left him. That gives him even more reason to be sad.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Bill Watterson is like the opposite of Jim Davies, who made Garfield, isn't he? Jim Davies sells out Garfield completely. Garfield lunchboxes, Garfield yo-yos.
Yeah.
But he's always hung on tight to Calvin and Hobbes, hasn't he? So I imagine he'd be gutted if he had to sell them over to Disney.
Yeah, I like this idea. There's something fun about animated characters interacting with the character. So
Does he make live action people?
Does he draw live action, or is he live action drawing animated people? But I like that he makes live action characters. Okay, that's fun.
I like the idea of him showing it to Alan, like, look, that's my creation. And he's just like, very poorly drawn.
And it's just like a hyper-realistic image of a kid. Like it's just a photo of a kid. And he's like, I could have done better. So I reckon, because we always need to back at the ranch plot line. So is the B plot Pim and Charlie just in the car constantly?
We genuinely could just do it with sat in traffic the entire time. So occasionally just conversations, like they're not doing anything, they just sat miserable in traffic.
I think the final joke has to be something like Pim forgot something and they have to drive back anyway. Where are we starting with? They're in the office and it's Gleb and Alan.
Yeah, and they realise that they have to take over for Pim and Charlie.
Alan gets a phone call, he answers it, and then we cut to traffic. Charlie and Pim are just like, you guys got to get there because, you know, traffic's just real held up here. And it's just like, it reminds me of the Smiling Friends go to Brazil. It's just like an anti-joke sheet. It's like an anti-joke plot in it. It's just like the whole plot's just that. Did we make a joke about them being in the A plot? Did he say something like that?
You said a line before there I thought was really good, which is Charlie saying, so this is what it's like to be in the B plot. You could definitely say that well in traffic.
Yeah, what I'm thinking of, this whole thing, got to be like they're looking for purpose. Because, you know, they're dealing with the creator.
Yeah.
And they're like, why was I made? I just sit around and watch it on my iPad all day. And Alan's just like, I just like cheese. That's like my thing. Why is it my thing?
So Bill Watterson is wondering about his purpose, and in turn it makes Gleb and Alan question their purpose.
Yeah. So they get the call, they drive over, and then we see the house. Is it Bill Watterson? Or, oh no, it's just a live action animator.
Yeah, it could just be some random guy.
Can we literally call him Guy? Because that's his name, isn't it?
Cool. I mean, it's as generic as Bill.
Yeah.
Guy Fireson.
Fireson or Person McPherson. Percy Person.
I like Guy Personson. That's stupid.
Yeah, there we go. Guy Personson.
He's just needlessly live action.
Yeah. Proper like dramatic angles on his face.
We're on the search for it because they're at Bill Watson's house and he's questioning his purpose in life. Now, Alan and Gleb aren't prepped for this.
Yeah, they haven't got a clue.
No, they don't have the training on how to look after people.
What if Alan's like, Gleb, can you just do it? Can you start this off? I don't know what I'm doing. And then Gleb's like, and then the live action goes, you just know you speak gibberish, right? Alan's like, I don't know, I hear him perfectly.
I love that because in Star Wars, no one ever says, you know, Chewie's just growling. Like, they need to figure out a way to help him.
Yeah, so they're not really used to it. Oh, can Alan stutter a lot? He's like, I'm not used to having this many lines.
Okay, yeah, I like it. They ask him questions like Charlie and Pym do, but could they be like the generic questions that they get on the practice forms?
Yeah, that's it. So they have a manual. Before they get there, there's like a little booklet, Smiling Friends booklet.
Yeah.
And it's all dusty. And then he opens it and it's just the boss's doodles half the time. And it's written in crayon. It's probably written in crayon and it's all misspelled. And then, you know those stupid questions that you get asked when you say you're depressed? It's like, have you went for a walk?
Yeah.
Have you done your hobbies? Like, so that's it. He reads the first one off. He's like, have you done any of your hobbies? And he's like...
I love that because his hobbies are what led him to this situation. So he goes on another rant like, yes, and now I've had to sell them.
Yeah, that's actually a banger. So Alan says, what's up? And then he goes on this monologue about creativity and the death of art and like how depressed he is. And then Alan just looks down and says, are you doing your hobbies? And then...
Oh, sorry, I've already asked that one.
Yeah. Okay, we need a joke about the live action creations. What if the dude goes, my latest creations have been a bit maudlin or like a bit depressing, and it just cuts to like that image of Ben Affleck. You know, with the cigarette. It just cuts to Ben Affleck with the cigarette. Proper depressing. They don't know what else to do, so it's like, let's go for a walk. And they're going for a walk, and it's Gleb and Alan talking first. What about they ring Charlie and Pym? Is this our first point?
Yeah, okay.
So find that they get like what they want.
Yeah, so what they want is to cheer him up, but that's got to lead us on to other problems, I suppose.
So I think it's by them figuring out how to help him, they gain a greater understanding of like why people are happy and unhappy, and they realise that they're depressed. Like, this is the most fun they've had ever. They've got more lines than in the A-plot.
Yeah. And can they have a line? Really not looking forward to next episode. Relegated to the back.
Yeah. So yeah, they ring Charlie and Pym, and then this is a good time for like all improv dialogue, I suppose. You know, where it's just like loads of stutters and stumbles. And
maybe Charlie could say like, oh look, it looks like traffic's clear enough. We might get there in time. And maybe they call in like a bomb scare or something to delay traffic even further.
Oh my god, there's a scene. It cuts to Gleb just by himself. He's on his phone and it says hitmen. Like, it's a hitmen listing or something like on the dark web. And the next time they're on the phone to Charlie, oh my god, someone just got shot in front of us. That was a sniper. That was like his head's gone.
But we don't see any of this because we're just relegated to inside the car. So they're just describing all this crazy hitman stuff.
Yeah. It's like, Alan, I swear to God, the car just did a flip like I'm in a Michael Bay movie.
So now that's all happened, they need to return because Guy Personson, stupid name, because he's a creator and their story circle in this episode is learning how to be part of the foreground and they're about to return to the background. Could it be like they feature in his artwork somehow?
Yeah, so trying to find purpose, and they get depressed midway through the episode and they think this is their purpose, you know, like they want to do this, but then they realise that they're just trying to be Charlie and Pym. They actually need to go away and be Alan and Gleb. So maybe the return, they inspire the creator to make new art, and there's like we can have a funny image of like a hyper realistic live action version of Alan and Gleb. It'd look horrible, and it's like, look, you guys, you know, you inspired me. Alan's like, I don't like that look. Is that what I look like? Guy Personson says, yeah, I just see everyone as live action. You look like that all the time. Why? Does the end of the episode, does Charlie and Pym finally get there?
Just traumatized by what they've saw.
Yeah, they finally get there, and I reckon they make him depressed. They make him depressed again.
They start telling him about all the horrific things he saw, and he goes like, "Oh my god!"
And Charlie goes, "I have never seen someone's head blow up like a mushroom." No fucking joke, dude. Like, that sniper rod, his fucking face fell off. We see him have a panic attack, and then the episode ends.
I like the idea that Gleb goes back to the office after this and gives the boss like the receipt for the hitman. It's like he doesn't understand. Like, you can't expense hitman.
I'd love if the boss just okays it. He's like, this will go under the usual deal, and then he just opens up his file, and he's got all sorts of obscene, horrible, illegal things. Turns out the boss has performed a coup in Turkey or something. Coup d'etat. He's like, good work, Gleb. Outside of the box thinking.
He mentions the hitman by name. Oh, I see you called up Daryl's services.
I had him take out the neighbour's dog.